Hello, class. Might I say, what a pleasure it is to see all your happy faces smiling back at me. It gives me great pleasure to teach you today how to order whole numbers. We have 2 practice questions from the Ministry Approved Guide to Mathematics in Key Stage 2. Our first question is this. Write these numbers in order, starting with the largest. As you can see, there are 5 whole numbers underneath this question, which we now have to order from largest to smallest. You may pause the video and have a go yourself. In the meantime, let's work through this question. Our first step, and you will not require your wands for this, is to put each number in the correct columns to ensure our place value is correct. So let's start with the number on the far left. 3 ones, no tens, 9 hundreds, 1,000, 7 10,000s, and 6 100,000s. Let's move on to the next number. 9, 7, 7, 8, and 6 in the 10,000s column. Our next number has 8 in the ones, 9 in the tens, 6 in the hundreds, 3 in the thousands, nothing at all in the 10,000s, 2 in the 100,000s, and 1 in the millions column. Our next number, this one here, has 4 in the ones column, 5 in the tens, 1 in the hundreds, 9 in the thousands, nothing in the 10,000s column, and 6 in the 100,000s column. Our final number in the list has 3 in the ones column, 1 10, 9 hundreds, 8 thousands, and 7 10,000s. Now we are ready to order these numbers from largest to smallest. Now if you remember the method from the SATS revision guide, we look firstly at the millions column. Now we can clearly see that there is one number that has any value in the millions column. It has a 1 in the millions column, so it is this number here that is our first and therefore largest number. Now we have to move on to the 100,000s column. We have one number with a 6 in the 100,000s and another number with a 6 in the 100,000s column. Remember that the other number with a value in the 100,000s column has already been ordered. So we're looking at this number and this number. Now we cannot separate them just looking at the 100,000s column here, so we have to move along to the 10,000s column. This number has a 7 and this number has a 0, which makes this one here our second largest number. Now to keep track, it is worth putting a little tick next to the numbers you have used. Now let's apply some number sense now. We were only looking at 2 numbers there to compare, and once we've gotten our largest number, we must determine that the next number, the one we did not order next, has to be the next one. Let's put a tick next to that one too. We have 2 numbers left to order. Now let's look at the 10,000s column. This number here has a 6 in the 10,000s column, and this one has a 7. How straightforward. Now, the one with the 7 is obviously a larger number, so that comes next, meaning our final number here has to be the smallest. I hope you got the same answer when you were working through this problem independently. Now, let's move on to the second question. Write these numbers in order, starting with the smallest. Yes, that's right, the smallest. Make sure the question is read correctly. You do not want to be ordering incorrectly. Once again, you may pause the video and work through this yourself and see if you get the same answer that we do. Now, your method may well be slightly different to mine, but what I like to do here is once again sort these numbers into the correct columns so we understand the place value of each individual digit and number. So, starting with the far left, 3 ones, 1 10, 7 hundreds, 1,000, 1 10,000, and 100,000. Our second number, 1 in the ones column, 5 in the tens, 3 in the hundreds, 7 in the thousands, nothing in the 10,000s, and 1 in the 100,000s column. The next number, 2 in the ones, 4 in the tens, 5 in the hundreds, 3 in the thousands, and 9 in the 10,000s column. Our next number, 1 in the ones, 5 in the tens, nothing in the hundreds, 3 in the thousands, nothing at all in the 10,000s, and a 9 in the 100,000s column. And our final number to sort, 8 in the ones, 6 in the tens, 4 in the hundreds, 9 in the thousands, and 8 in the 10,000s column. Now, we are ordering this time from smallest to largest. However, I still like to look at the largest number first and simply put it on the far right and do it that way. So, let's have a look at our first relevant column here, which is the 100,000s column. We have one number here with a 1 in the 100,000s, another one with a 1, and one with a 9. This has got to be our largest number, therefore, as it has a 9 in the 100,000s column. But rather than going over here, it's going to go here, as it is our largest number, so in this sequence it should be last. Again, we'll put a tick because we've now used this number. You could even put a whole line through the number, making doubly sure that you do not accidentally order it again. Now, we have 2 more numbers here, both with a 1 in the 100,000s column. So we have to move now to the 10,000s column and separate them that way. This one has a 1, and this one has a 0, which makes this number here the larger number. So it is second from last. Again, put a little tick or a line through to show that you have used these numbers. We now have just 3 more to order. Now, the 2 numbers we were just comparing, we've ordered one of them, which means the next one here, the one with a 0 in the 10,000s column and a 1 in the 100,000s column, is our next number automatically. So once again, let's just make sure that we've definitely counted it and not look at it again. We've got 2 more numbers now, and we're looking still at the 10,000s column. This one has a 9, and this one has an 8. Now, whichever way you want to do this, you can say, oh, the one with the 8 is the smaller number, and do it that way. Or you could say the one with the 9 is the bigger number, and put it there, and then this one here is obviously the smallest number. There are many ways to do this kind of problem. It's the way you enjoy and understand the most that matters. Now we have ordered the numbers from smallest to largest. You can check your answer by looking once again at the working you have already done at the bottom of my page here, just to make sure you have definitely ordered them correctly.